Hold up, Browns Nation. Something just happened that nobody's talking about, but it's about to change everything you think you know about this team's championship window. While everyone's obsessing over quarterback drama and defensive schemes, the Browns just made a move so calculated, so strategic, that it's basically screaming one thing. We're not just building for next year, we're building to dominate right now. You see that roster move with Trevion Williams getting cut and Ralph Holley coming in? That's not just roster housekeeping, people. That's a franchise saying, we've got something brewing that you haven't figured out yet. And what they've got brewing is about to turn the entire AFC North upside down. Here's what's really going down in Cleveland, and why this could be the season that finally breaks the curse. The Browns didn't just stumble into having one of the deepest, most explosive backfields in the NFL, they engineered it. And the masterstroke isn't even active yet. Let me paint you the picture that's got me fired up. Jerome Ford's holding down the fort as your primary back, but he's not alone. Dylan Sampson just announced himself to the league in that Bengals game. 12 carries, 8 catches, looking like a Swiss Army knife out there. Then you've got Raheem Sanders waiting in the wings, bringing that veteran presence. But here's the kicker that's got AFC North defenses sweating bullets. Quinyon Judkins is sitting there with that 2-week roster exemption, ready to be activated at any moment. Think about that for a second. The Browns used their second-round pick, the 36th overall selection, on a running back. In today's NFL, that's basically declaring war on conventional wisdom. But Cleveland isn't playing conventional football anymore. They're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Andrew Berry didn't mince words when he called Judkins very well-rounded and talk about him carrying the load. That's GM speak for we found our next Nick Chubb. And if you know anything about what Chubb meant to this offense before that injury, you know we're talking about a complete game-changer here. But let's get real for a minute. Judkins has that meeting with NFL investigators this week about a domestic battery charge that was eventually dropped. Kevin Stefanski's playing it close to the vest, giving us that classic, we'll see, gotta get through this week of practice response. But reading between the lines, this team is chomping at the bit to unleash their secret weapon. Now here's where it gets absolutely wild. The Browns' rushing attack got completely neutralized by Cincinnati. 40 yards total, 2 yards per carry. That's not championship football, and everybody in that building knows it. But what if I told you that might have been exactly what they wanted? What if struggling on the ground in week 1 was the perfect setup for what's coming next? Because when you're sitting on a second-round running back who can do everything, run between the tackles, stretch plays to the edge, catch out of the backfield, pass protect, and nobody's seen him play yet, you've got the ultimate trump card. Defensive coordinators can't game plan for what they haven't seen on film. The Ravens are favored by double digits this week, and I'm sitting here wondering if Vegas has lost their minds. This Cleveland team isn't the same franchise that's been breaking hearts for decades. This is a calculated, ruthless organization that's been building toward this exact moment. Look at what they've done strategically. They're not throwing everything at one position, hoping it works out. They've created depth at running back that's borderline ridiculous, for it can handle the every down work. Sampson brings that dynamic receiving ability that makes linebackers choose between covering the pass and stopping the run. Sanders provides that veteran insurance policy. And Judkins? He's the ceiling raiser who could turn a good rushing attack into an unstoppable force. But here's what's really got me convinced this is the year. The Browns are making moves like a team that knows something we don't. Cutting Williams wasn't about saving money or making room. It was about confidence. It was about saying we don't need a safety net at running back because we've got 4 guys who can all contribute at a championship level. The timing of everything is too perfect to be coincidence. Judkins gets cleared right as the Ravens game approaches. That's not luck, that's strategy. Baltimore's defense is going to spend all week preparing for Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson, and then boom, here comes a completely different element they've never seen before. This reminds me of those great Ravens teams that used to rotate running backs and keep defenses guessing. Except Cleveland's doing it with potentially more talent and definitely more versatility. When you can go from Ford's power running to Sampson's pass-catching ability to Judkins' complete skill set without missing a beat, you're not just running an offense anymore, you're conducting a symphony. The best part? This is just the beginning. We're talking about a young core that could dominate together for the next 5 years. While other teams are chasing the next shiny object at quarterback or trying to find that one defensive superstar, Cleveland's building something sustainable and devastating. And before I forget, if you're feeling this energy and want to stay ahead of all the moves Cleveland's making, smash that like button and subscribe to Browns Breakout. We're bringing you the insights that other channels miss, the strategic analysis that explains why these moves matter, and the passion that only true Browns fans understand. Here's my prediction for what's about to happen. The Ravens think they're getting the same Cleveland team that struggled to run the ball against Cincinnati. Instead, they're about to face a completely retooled rushing attack with weapons they haven't prepared for. Judkins makes his debut, probably gets significant carries because Cleveland needs to establish the run, and suddenly Baltimore's defensive game plan goes out the window. But even bigger than one game, this backfield depth is going to carry Cleveland through the entire season. The AFC North is brutal. Games get physical, players get banged up. Having 4 legitimate options at running back means Cleveland can keep fresh legs on the field while other teams are running their star backs into the ground. The championship window isn't closing for Cleveland, it's just getting started. And it's not built on hoping 1 or 2 players stay healthy or play above their heads. It's built on depth, strategy, and talent evaluation that's finally matching the passion of this fan base. So when Judkins takes his first handoff as a Cleveland Brown, remember this moment. Remember when everyone was doubting, when the odds makers were disrespecting this team, when conventional wisdom said running backs don't matter anymore. Because Cleveland's about to prove that when you draft the right ones, develop them correctly, and use them strategically, they absolutely can be the difference between another disappointing season and a championship run. The foundation's been laid, the pieces are in place, and the AFC North better get ready. Cleveland's not just coming, they're arriving. And they're bringing a running game that's going to remind everyone why controlling the line of scrimmage still wins championships in this league.